Welcome to These Are the Blades of Our Lives, the figure skating show where I talk to you about figure skating like it is drama for our mamas. Guys, I am so far behind in my video making. First, it was the holiday. I was around family. It was wonderful. I was having a great time. I saw Japanese National, my favorite thing to do during Christmas. It was great. Friday, went to work, had dinner with friends, came home, everything was great. Woke up Saturday and my body was like, nope, we're not doing this. Went to the doctor and I had COVID. For like 3+ years, I had managed to avoid COVID. And then 2 days before 2024, COVID was like, oh, look at her. She's so cute, fully vaccinated, boosted. She really think we're going to let her go into 2024 without us catching her. Yes, 2 days before 2024, I caught COVID. And so there was no making any videos. There was no doing nothing except mucus, trying to stay warm, and drinking lots of tea. So finally, I'm out of quarantine. Finally, I'm feeling somewhat human. Finally, I can now somewhat go back to doing what I need to do. So I'm making this video and it is about the upcoming 2024 European. And I'm also going to make some back videos that I had planned to do, but then, COVID happened, about it's going to be like an all national video, Russian national, Japanese national, Canadian. It's going to be all of them into one video. But this video is all about the upcoming European, the 2024 European Nationals. And I just want to give a quick prediction on what I think is going to happen. So starting off with the pairs, I have my top 12 and likely top 12. I personally think this is definitely going to be Medvedeva, Fabienne Hayes, and Nikita Volodin's championship to win or lose. They won the Grand Prix final. Unfortunately, their federation got a little crack-headed and made them do national right after the Grand Prix channel. Listen, the Grand Prix final. Listen, they could have had them stay in China. They could have YouTubed it, Facebook Live. They could have gone on Skype. There were so many ways they could have done this without having this poor pair travel all the way from Asia to Europe just to compete at nationals when they only had 2 teams. Anyhow, of course, they looked good in the short. They were a little jet lagged in the free at their national, but now they've had some time to rest, some time to recoup. And I feel like this is going to be their European to win or lose. So for me, I'm putting them in number 1. Number 2, I'm putting this more as an emotional, sentimental favorite because they're a favorite of mine, but they did miss out on the Grand Prix final. Even though they made it, they missed out due to injury. So I don't know how far their recovery process has gone, but if they're able to perform at where they were at the beginning of the year, I'm going to put Anika Haki and Robert Canal in my second place. They are my silver medal. In third place, I am putting Sarah Conti and Nicolo Marci. Again, this is a very efficient team, but none of their technical element is a wow factor. Their connection is not a wow factor. Their musicality, nothing about this team is wow to me, but everything is consistent. And if the other team falter, I feel like that consistency is going to push them up. In fourth place, I'm putting Lucretia Brucari and Matteo Grizzi. This team has surprised me so much with how well matched they are, with how much they've grown. They have beautiful line. They have wonderful elements. They are not the most consistent team out there. So it depends on which version comes out. But if they come out with 2 clean program, I would put them as far as maybe on the podium, but for now I have them in fourth place. In fifth place is a team that I have overlooked this entire season. I have really overlooked Maria Pavlova and Alexei Shkrenikov. I have overlooked this team this entire season. They managed to make it to the Grand Prix final, even though it was as a substitute team. They have been consistent at every Grand Prix. They are the little engine that could. Their elements are solid. Again, not really a team that I'm aesthetically drawn to, which is why I've overlooked them all season, but they get the job done. They are solid about that business. And then I would have Rebecca Shalardi and Filippo Ambrosini. This is a team that has beautiful elements, especially in their lifts. She has beautiful air position. But the jumps, oh my God, those side by side jumps just haywire everywhere. And I feel like if the other teams are clean and they can't even get a double double combination, it's going to hurt them in the long run. So that's the reason why they're not on my podium. But this is a very musical team that I like a lot. And then after them, I have Anastasia Meltakina and Luka Barilova. I believe this team will probably do a lot better than where I'm placing them, but you guys know all the reasons why I'm not a big fan of this team, so I'm placing them here. It's purely emotional. I admit that. I'm an emotional person. You guys know that. After them, I'm putting the French married pair, Kamil Kovalev and Pavel Kovalev. I I like this team because of how mature they look. She just looks like a woman, and it's always nice to see a woman in women's figure skating. And I think they have a good connection, which makes sense because they're married. So I'm putting them on this list. And then rounding out my list is going to be Lydia Smart and Harry Maddock. Not the most consistent pair, but this young British team, they have some potential. They have some potential. My likely top is a little different than the one that I want to see. I still think Minerva and Nikita are going to win the gold medal. I, however, think Sarah Conti and Nicola Marcy are going to win the silver. And I unfortunately think Anastasia Meltonkina and Luka Barilova will win the bronze here. And the reason why is, although I'm personally not a fan of Anastasia and Luca, I am honest enough to admit they have really solid skating elements. I don't like their music choices. I don't like their programs. I think they're tackily packaged. But when it comes to the twist, when it comes to the throw, when it comes to the lift, when it comes to the side by side, they are a very strong, very solid pair. There is not a single element where you can say that they are weak at. They are strong at every element. And I think if the other teams falter, they will take the opportunity. Anastasia and Luca will take the opportunity to put themselves on the podium. So I definitely, it's not what I want to see happen, but it is what I believe will likely happen. So I really think the podium will be, Minerva and Nikita. It'll be Sarah and Nicolo, and then it'll be Anastasia and Luca. Unfortunately, I think probably coming back from injury, Annika and Robert will probably be like somewhere around the fifth, sixth position. That's, yeah, I think that's probably going to be a more realistic outlook to the pairs than what I hope to happen. Moving on to men, both in what I want to see happen and what is likely to happen, I see Adam Sion Himfa winning this. He has looked good all season. He has not been 100%. Yes, there have been some inconsistencies, but he's always fighting back. He's always improving. He's always growing. Like all the French skaters, he's so interesting to look at. He has such a unique point of view, and then he has the technical component to back it up. So I am here for it. In second place, I am putting Kevin Amos. I saw French nationals. Again, another federation that went crack-headed. You have two men who already made it to the Grand Prix final. You already know who you're sending to European and Worlds. Why do you have to have these two men come from Asia all the way to Europe, be jet lagged, and then have them compete? It was completely pointless. Either give them a bye or reschedule your nationals. But anyhow, I know Kevin had a very difficult outing at French National. That program was hard to watch. But that is why I am praying to the figure skating gods that they will show him grace and mercy, and I am putting him in second place here. In third place, I'm putting Matteo Rizzo, another favorite of mine who's had an up and down season. I really thought like this would be a breakthrough season for him, that he would come and he would be on the podium. That has not been the case in every competition, but I'm hoping he can put it together at European and be on the podium once again. In fourth place, I have Lucas Bucci. Solid all season long, just solid, just a well-rounded skater, nothing to really dislike about him, just solid all season. So I'm giving him the pewter. Um, and fifth, I'm putting Mark Gordovsky. He doesn't have the quad or the jump power, but what he has are beautiful triples, beautiful jump technique, nice knee bend, good skating skill, good musicality. He's a well-rounded skater. And I feel like when the jump-centric skaters, when the quad-only skaters falter and Mark is clean, I feel like he can score and be placed higher than them. I want to put him in my top six because I love him. Even though he has not given me any reason all season, I'm still putting Denis Vasiliev in my top six. Why? Because he has two beautiful programs this season, and there is nothing I want to see more than for Denis to skate these programs cleanly. If he could just skate them cleanly, that would just make the season worth it. So I'm putting him in my top six. Then I have Alexander Selikov, followed by Gabriela Fagapini, followed by Mikhail Selevkov, followed by Adam Hagera, who had a really, really good outing in the Junior Grand Prix. So I'm hoping he can follow up on that here. And then I'm going to wrap it up with Nika Igadze. Why? Because he has the quads. Does he have anything else? Not in my opinion. You guys already know how I feel about the bargain basement Moulin Rouge and the shirt opening. No. But that is just what I would like to see happen. What I think is likely to happen, I still think Adam Sian Hemfa is going to win. I think Lucas Bucci is going to get the silver medal here because he's a well-rounded skater. He's got decent skating skill. He's personable. He connects with the audience and he has good jumps. So if all of these things could come together for him, I think he's going to take the silver here. I think the bronze medal is going to be between Matteo Rizzo and Nikita Igadze. I have a feeling that Nikita Igadze is going to be on that podium. And guys, I am fighting it with every fiber of my being. Matteo Rizzo, if ever there was a time for you to get it together, now is the time. I cannot have Nika Igadze with that bargain basement Moulin Rouge on that podium so that Eteri could be sitting there rubbing his knees as she purchased a medal for her nepotism of the century daughter, Diana Davis. I cannot take it. I cannot take it. Please, Matteo. But I think the bronze medal is going to come down between Matteo, who has the jump and the skating skill, and Nika Igadze, who does not know what a skating skill look like, but has the jumps. We'll have to wait and see. And then, I think it would be like Kevin Amos, Mark, Dennis, and then all the rest would more or less remain the same. That's how I'm seeing men playing out. I think all of the drama is really going to come out in ice dance. So before I even get to my placement, I want to say, first of all, Spain, you dirty, dirty, dirty federation. The way you played poor Olivia Smart, the way you played that poor woman, the way you played that poor woman was dirty, dirty. You sent this team, Sophia Val and Asev Kazinov. I don't even think they're going to make it to the free dance. What are you doing, Spain? I do not even think this team will make it to the free dance. Listen, Olivia, I think it might be time for you to become German. I think it might be time for you to become German. Oh, dirty, dirty Spain Federation. Naughty. And then another federation that is just grimy. I knew from the start of the season that Maria Kazakova and Gregory Rivera were going to be thrown under the train. I saw how desperate that team was skating and fighting, and I saw the scores that the judges were giving them, and I already knew they were going to be sacrificed. And what is so insulting is that Diana Davis and Gleb Smokin didn't even feel like leaving the US to go to Georgia National. They didn't even feel the urge to fake it. And yet somehow, despite competing for Georgia for the entire Grand Prix, the entire season, Maria Kazakova and Gregory Rivera are not going to European. And I feel like we knew it, we saw it coming. I already said it was going to happen. But a part of me still wished that the sport, that the International Skating Union would try to maintain some iota of integrity. I don't know why I still wish for it, but maybe because I'm such a fan of the sport, I desperately wish they would keep some iota of integrity. Obviously, I still have too high of an opinion of them because they do not have that. So I feel bad for this team. This is a very talented team. They are very innovative, but I feel like if they remain in Georgia, they will probably constantly be buried for the sake of Diana Davis and Gleb Smokin. So I think maybe going to another federation, I don't even know if that's going to help, but at least they'll get to go to Europeans and Worlds. I think maybe going to another federation may be a better option for them. Now to the actual placement. I think, of course, if everything goes like it's supposed to, if there's no major mistake, Charlene Gannard and Marco Fabri should take this. We had that little poof poof at NHK. The figure skating community was like, we're not having it. And the judges rectified the situation. Now we're back to where we need to be. So I definitely think that Charlene Gannard and Marco Fabri are going to win their European title. They're going to defend their European title. Without a doubt, by a large margin, I think Lila Fear and Lewis Gibson are taking home that silver medal. The bronze medal is really where I see where it should be, where the drama should be. And that drama is going to be between Allison Reed, Salus Ambrovilisi, and Julia Takakila and Mateus Velusi. Personally, I think Allison and Salus are going to take the bronze medal. They have been coming up strong all season. This is going to be on home ice for them. The judges seem to be behind them. We all know figure skating is very political, and ice dance is the most political of all the disciplines. I think when European was in their home turf, Julia and Mateus were generously judged, And I feel like the favor is now going to be returned to Allison and Selous. I in fourth place will be Julia and Matthias. Right after them, I want to put Natalie Teshlerova and Philippe Teschler. You guys know how much I adore this team. She is power personified. She steps on the ice and she makes you, you have to look at her in all her speed and glory. I adore this team, and even though the judges keep messing with them, I'm going to continue to adore them until the judges stop being stupid and realize the rightness of adoring them. Right after them would be the French team of Evgenia Lopareva and Jeffrey Bassard. They seem to be the front running French team, although personally I prefer Marie Dupaye and Thomas Nabas. This is a very petite team. Both partners are very small, but they skate so big, and they're also another pair that's very unique, very innovative, very interesting. They have such nice, skating movement. I really adore this team. And again, of course, the judges do not give them enough credit. Then I think it's probably going to be, the Germans, Jennifer Hasse von Ronsberg and Benjamin Steffen, followed by another favorite of mine, Yuka O'Hara and Yuno Perinen. I love this team because they are 100% committed to their characters that they are performing. They're so fun. They're so, open. They play to the audience, the judges. I like that, and I'm here for this team. Then I think it will probably be the young junior teams who are transitioning to senior. Katrina Maskov and Daniel Musquez. This team has a lot of potential. This season, they do not have the best material, but even though the program is letting them down, you can obviously see the skating skill and the talent. This is a team, not probably this squad, but the next Olympic cycle, they are definitely going to be in the conversation. They need to be better packaged, they need to get some better program, but this is definitely a team that is going to be in the conversation. And then, probably Lucia de Margot and Theo Lemercier and maybe Victoria Meni and Carlo Wobelishbeg. I think those would be the top team for me. Yes, Diana Davis and Gleb Smokin are not on my top 12. They're not on my top 15. I would put them based on all the skaters that are competing, based on her skating skill and her inability to find an edge. I would put them in 20th place. So they're not on my top 10. However, on what is likely to happen, I still think that the top three are set. I don't, unless there's some mistake, if everybody skates to the best of their ability, I still think Charlene Gennard is gonna and Marco Fabi are gonna win it. I think Lila Fear and Lewis Gibson are going to be in the silver medal position. I think Allison Reed and Celise and Bozzini are going to be in the third medal position. I honestly think ISU is going to show its ass completely, and they're going to put Diana Davis and Gleb Smokin in fourth place. I think Eteri has already paid, bought for dinner 40% that pewter medal. Because remember, the goal is to get Diana Davis a world medal, some world medals, and eventually an Olympic medal. So if that is the goal, they need to start prepping them for right now. So if they put them in fourth place this year at European, then they could put them on the podium next year at European. And if they put them in fourth place this year at European, they could put them in the top 10 this year at Worlds. And if they're in the top 10 this year at Worlds, they can be in the top 5 next year at Worlds. Literally, the ISU and E30 have already made their deal, and I already know they're going to put Diana Davis and Gleb Smokin in fourth place so they could be in top 10 at Worlds. So I'm not even going to stress about that because that is going to be what it is. It is going to be upsetting when they are in front of pairs like Julia and Matthias, Natalie and Philippe, Evgenia and Jeffrey, Marie and Thomas, when they are placed in front of these teams, I feel like it will really hit us. The people who have watched figure skating for decades, the people who understand what we are about to witness, it when we literally see them being placed in front of all these skaters, I think the reality of how corrupt the ISU system is finally going to hit us in the face. That's what I'm expecting to happen. I always pray that I'm wrong, but I mean, we've seen it happen for so long. So I don't think I'm wrong, but I do pray that I'm wrong. But that's how I think it's going to play out in ice dance. And then finally, of course, as always, the women's section. Again, I think the top three is going to be Luna Hendricks. I believe Luna can comfortably win this European title. But then again, with Luna, it's not about talent, it's about the mental fortitude. Because last year she could have easily won Europeans. And physically she was ready, mentally she wasn't. How much has the experience of last year taught her? How much has she grown? Is she in a place where she can now be like, I'm gonna do this. I am going to do this. This is my European title and I'm gonna take it. If she can get her mind into that space, into that frame, I honestly believe that this European title is easily hers. I think her compatriot Nina Pizzaroni is going to be in silver medal position. I think there's still going to be a large score difference, but if Nina can do what Nina has done all season, which is to be clean and be consistent, I can easily see her winning this silver medal. In third place, I'm going to put Kimi Rippon. Before the season start, I would have thought that Kimi would have been the biggest competitor to Luna Hendricks. However, she grew so much this season, and once you grow, it takes a lot to readjust to your body, and then when you have to do that on the ice and on blades, that makes it even more difficult. But I was so happy to see her at her national. She looks like she's adjusting slowly to her body. There's still a lot of work left to be done. The jumps are a little slow. There's not a lot of speed. There's not a lot of height, but she is going through a readjustment period. If she can get through this period, I think she has a very bright future. I'm putting her in third place. In fourth place, I'm putting Ekaterina Karakova. Changed her program, changed that Kill Bill short program. I guess it was not getting them the score that they wanted. Has a new short program now. We have to wait and see how both the short and the long program perform at Europeans. But she is definitely a fan favorite. She is definitely a judge favorite. I think if Ekaterina gives them the reason to, the judges are going to reward her. After Ekaterina, I'm going to put Anastasia Gabanova. Ah, Anastasia's a hardworking skater and she's fairly consistent. But there's nothing about her that makes you want to be like, yes, yes, Gabanova. There really isn't. She's a very blunt skater. And unfortunately for her, the judges do not like her at all. But I do like her in the kiss and cry because she is getting some spunk to her. She's getting a little attitude to her, and I like it. I just wish she would put more of that on the ice and into her program. Um, then I have Nella Pelkonen. I think this is a nice jumper. When the skater, when Nella goes into her jump, there's a lot of power, there's a lot of speed, there's a lot of height. Not a lot of consistency with those jumps, but they are very, very nice when the jump is done right. And I feel like if she can give two clean performance, oh, that would be so nice to see. And then right after her, I would like to put her sister, Emily. Um, I'm sorry, not her sister. I would like to put Emily Peltonen. Wow, did I misspell that? No, okay, Peltonen. And after them is the French skater Lauren Charles, followed, of course, by the always have to be in the conversation, Lara Naki Goodman. As we know, the 2026 Olympic is going to be in Milan. It is going to be in Italy, and Italy wants to be in that conversation for a medal. They have good pairs, they have ice dance, they have men. What they need is a strong women contender. And Lara Naki Goodman is slowly but surely climbing her way up there. Chipping away. Slowly making her way up there. A very unique skater, very interesting, very committed to her program. Always a joy to watch. After her, I would put Livia Kaiser. Another very good jumper. Another not consistent skater. But speed, power, height. When the jumps are good, all of that is there. I would follow that by Alexandra Fagan. And then lastly, she could be as far as 6 or as low as 20. Is Olga Nikontina. I just don't know what kind of condition Olga's gonna be in. This is another skater that's a very good skater, but so inconsistent it's always hard to place her. So that's my top picks. But I feel like the likely to happen is gonna be pretty similar to my top pick. I feel like the top three are going to stay the top three. I think the only major change might just be poor Gabanova will get buried a little lower than I'm expecting her to be. But other than that, I'm expecting the top to remain as they are. But that is my prediction for how I think the 2024 ISU European Championships are going to be. I think some of it will be wonderful. I think some of it will piss me off, and I will have feelings. And when I have feelings, you guys are going to hear about it. It's gonna be an emotional roller coaster for me. That's what I think. But you guys let me know, how do you think the 2024 European is going to play out? Let me know in the comments.